Okay, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, sorry. And welcome to this workshop on integrated home renovation services, which is organized in the framework of the Sustainable Places Conference. I'm Margot Barrett, and as part of BPIE, I'm involved in the turnkey retrofit project. I'm joined today by my colleague Dominique from CSTB, who is the coordinator of turnkey retrofit. And today we are also welcoming 5 other projects: Padova Fit, Happen, Save the Homes, Remodule, and iHero. During the workshop, feel free to ask questions using the chat box or the questions panel on the right. I will quickly go through the agenda. So I hope you can all see the agenda here. First, an introduction by Luca Angelino, who is from EAS, the European Commission. Then we'll have a presentation of turnkey retrofit by Caroline. And then we will start the roundtable with all the 5 projects. And then have a more interactive session for the second part of the workshop. And we will then wrap up the workshop with Dominique at the end. So now I'd like to give the floor to Luca Angelino from EASM. I'll just say quickly that for connection problems, he won't be able to share his webcam, but I added a picture here. So Luca, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Margot. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, let me start by thanking on behalf of the European Commission and EASMA, the Executive Agency for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, for this kind invitation to this event. It's a real pleasure to see several projects funded by the European Union under the Horizon 2020 program, exchanging experiences and lessons learned on their work towards the creation and sometimes the replication of innovative integrated home renovation services across Europe. For many years, accelerating building renovation has been a priority of the EU, as you may be aware. And this is even further the case following the launch of the Renovation Wave strategy, which was published by the European Commission the last 14 October, so 2 weeks ago. The strategy underlines that the refurbishment of buildings does not only reduce emissions and energy poverty, but it can also generate far-reaching social, environmental, and economic benefits. Deep renovation can also reduce pressure for greenfield construction, helping to preserve nature, biodiversity, and also fertile agricultural land. New data from this new communication by the Commission also show that 85% of the EU's building stock was built before 2001, and this is basically before the first EPBD, Energy Performance of Buildings Directive. And most of those buildings, therefore, are not energy efficient. Many of those buildings heavily rely on fossil fuels, for example, for services such as space heating or domestic hot water. And overall, these are figures you may already be familiar with. Buildings are responsible for 40% of the total energy consumption in the EU, and for roughly 35% of greenhouse gas emissions from the energy sector. In addition, we now know that while 11% of the EU existing building stock undergoes some level of renovation every year, only very rarely, unfortunately, renovation works address the energy performance of buildings. And indeed, the weighted annual energy renovation rate is as low as 1%. Across the EU, we also know that deep renovation, which is that renovation reducing energy consumption by at least 60%, are carried out only in 0.2% of the building stock per year. So behind those numbers, there are several barriers. Many are known and others have been more recently highlighted. But the building renovation sector is one of those sectors facing in the EU the largest investment gap. The European Commission estimates that in order to achieve the newly proposed 55% greenhouse gas emission target by 2030, we need every year 275 billion additional investments. And most of these additional financial burden needs to be carried out by the private sector, including households. So we know that there are still sometimes limited attractive financing products from the market. There are subsidies. However, sometimes these are perceived as administrative burdensome by the beneficiaries. Many project promoters, including public authorities or individuals and businesses, lack skills and capacities to set up, implement, and finance ambitious low energy and clean energy building projects. In addition, we know that many project developers face obstacles in raising the upfront financing needed for the projects. And sometimes they lack access to attractive and adequate financing products from the market. To address some of those complex challenges, one of the major solutions is to coordinate actions and make home renovation, at least when it comes to the residential sector, so home renovation more, say, simpler and more accessible for homeowners. To that end, the European Commission, among other things, I would say, has financed 22 projects under the Horizon 2020 program, and these support specifically the uptake of integrated home renovation services, including through the PDA, which are the Project Development Assistance Facilities, with a total budget of roughly 67 million euros so far. And we plan to continue this also under LIFE in the next multi-annual financial framework. The developed services developed under those projects aim to cover the whole customer journey, from technical and social diagnosis, technical offer, contracting of works, structuring and provisions of finance. It includes also the monitoring of works and quality assurance. So those integrated services, we hope, should create more demand for holistic approaches because of improved offer by market operators which are trustful, and also these projects are supposed to increase and improve awareness from homeowners. So, ladies and gentlemen, that being said, we are confident that this exchange between projects will help leverage synergies and hopefully also mutually reinforce the work of our partners involved. And ultimately, the objective would be to help deliver on the quality we require and to increase the renovation rates in the residential sector in the European Union. So without further ado, I thank again for the invitation, and I look forward to the discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you, Luca, for this introduction. I'd like now to hand over to Caroline for the presentation of turnkey retrofit.
Hi, everybody. I'm just checking that you can see. Margot, can you just tell me if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, I'm switching on the camera. Okay, I guess everything is all right. Hi, everybody. I'm going to present you the turnkey retrofit project. So the turnkey retrofit project is one of the European projects that we just talked. It's a project with 9 partners from France, Spain, Ireland, and Belgium, from research, consultancy, engineering companies, non-profit organization, and technology centers. I myself, I'm from CSTB, Technology Center and Research Center in France. We have joined forces to develop solutions for renovation. It's a web platform that I'm going to show you, and it will be used by France, Ireland, and Spain. And if this platform is successful, we will replicate this tool in Europe. So as I said, the project is shared by 9 partners. It started in July 2019, and it's gonna end. Actually, it's gonna end beginning of 2022. And the objective is to develop a one-stop shop platform through the integration and enrichment of existing platforms, business models to improve the renovation process for the owners. So the customers are private owners living in multi-family buildings or houses. As France is concerned, we are working with regional partners, Operen, which is dedicated to multi-family buildings renovations, and EP in France, which has already an existing service for homeowners, and R2M Solutions with Rachel. So the objectives of this platform are first to raise awareness of the owners on the renovation issues, make them realize that they've got something to do on their home, improve the services with trusted partners, reduce the costs of the renovation works, and propose additional services beyond renovation. As far as deliverables are concerned, well, there's the platform itself, Solutions for Renovation, which gonna integrate all the services and the tools that we're gonna develop within the project. I'm very happy to tell you that the platform is online. It was launched yesterday, so we've got the French version, but also the Spanish version online now, and the Irish one will come soon. And to put it in a nutshell, we can see on this infographic that the main goal of this platform is to convert the conventional renovation process, which can be fragmented and a bit heavy with limited homeowner interaction, and we want to convert it in a very easy and straightforward process with tailor-made offers and homeowner-centric, dedicated to really the tools, the little tools and help that people need to make their renovation process easier. One point which is very important is that the platform must have a sustainable business model. So the goal is that the platform can still exist after the end of the project. And that's why we had to adapt the business model to each country to have sustainable one. For example, in France, The business model is based on white certificates credits that are like trade on Hero platform. Hero platform is the existing platform from EP, our French partner. In Ireland, there are several existing one-stop shops and services. So we're still thinking about the right partner to set this business model and this platform. So the process is ongoing, but we've got very interesting contacts with several partners. And in Spain, we're gonna be linked to the existing platform Reform and Air, which is used by our partner ANER in Spain. So here you can see a screenshot of the homepage for the Irish platform, which is in English. That's why I put this one. But so you can, the homepage is very similar. The architecture is similar for the three countries, but then we adapt the content and the tools that are available on the platform to each country. For example, for the French case, you've got two customer journeys. You see here at the bottom, you can click on I live in a single house or I live in a multi-family building, and then you're led to the right customer journey. So that's the tools that we propose for the single houses and the multi-family buildings. In Ireland, in the end, we're gonna have only single houses journey, because that's the main typology that we have in Ireland. Here you can see some screenshots to show that we first propose general information about renovation. So like what are the benefits, what's the process, some FAQ. We also adapt the content, as I said, to each country. For example, for France, we then provide a link to the list of all the qualified professionals for the assessments and for the works. We always give some little maintenance tips, for example, for a new ventilation systems, and of course some sheets about grants and subsidies, which are very different from a country to another. Here you can see one of the tools that we've plugged onto the platform, which is PunchJag. That's one of the tools that CSTB has developed. And the idea is to have a very quick diagnosis that people can make just to say how they feel in their house. We don't want to be technical at this stage, because we know that a lot of people don't even know how much they pay each month for their energy, for example. They don't know what's the thermal performance of their house or their windows. So the idea is to be very straightforward and easy to understand for everybody. So the diagnosis is based on pictures. So basically, for example, here I've got a problem, an issue. Is it moisture problem? Is it that my energy bills are too high? Is it that I've got acoustic issues, noises around my home? Or here at the bottom right, you can see how people describe their home, the walls, the roofs, and everything. And basically, you choose the picture that corresponds best to your home. And in the end of this diagnosis, you've got the improvement potential of your home regarding energy savings, thermal comfort, acoustic comfort, and indoor air quality. And we propose a first list of works, and then people can either go further if they want to know how much it would cost or how much they can earn, or they can ask for more information. And then they're led to, for example, for the French platform, a heroes tool to cost the works, or a full energy assessment to have a more precise idea of how much they could earn, or general information. And this PunchDiag is available for the 3 countries. And of course, we've adapted the questions and the pictures to each country. And in the end, we adapt as well, the 3 buttons that you can see at the bottom, so that, for example, in Spain, people are led to Reformanea platform, for example. So the main idea, as I said at the beginning, is to have very specific tools that match the special needs of each country, and to add more value to the existing platform. So you can have a try and go to solutionsforrenovation.eu and try PunchDiag by yourself. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Caroline, for presenting Turnkey. It was a very good presentation, especially for the platform that Solutions for Renovation that we just launched. So please, you can have a look at the website. It's available to everybody. I'd like now to start the roundtable. And I will first ask Giovanni from the city of Padova to present the project Padova Fit. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, Giovanni, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I'm Giovanni Vicentini from the Environmental Department of the Municipality of Padova, and today I'm going to present you the Padova Fit Expanded project, which is related to the constitution and the setup and the implementation of a one-stop shop in the municipality of Padova, but also in the municipality of Timișoara in Romania and in 2 other cities in Bulgaria. I want to start from this slide because we included this project into a renovation process. The process started in 2011 with the drafting of our first CET, the Sustainable Energy Action Plan, and then in that period we tried to analyze the situation of our building stock and the social conditions of families in our building stock, and we find out that we had a very high energy consumption in the residential building. As you can see in the slide, almost 180 kilowatt-hour per square meter per year as an average consumption in the residential sector, and almost 70% of our building stock was built between the 60s and 70s. So a phase in Italy where we didn't have attention to energy, and we didn't have rules in the regulatory framework to improve the energy performance of buildings. And at the same time, we find out that a lot of families were in an energy poverty condition. And in this year, during 2020, we are going to monitor the situation, and the things are going worse because of course, COVID-19 epidemic. So this is the start of our process. And starting from that point, we try to find out some ideas and tools to boost the energy renovation in our city. The first approach was the Padova Fit project launched in 2030. It was a lay project based on old concepts such as APC contracts and third-party financing. And then we started in 2019 a new project, the project I'm going to present you. Padova Fit expanded, so it is a follow-up of the previous one, extended, of course, to other building typologies, so also to private buildings, yeah, not only condominiums, but a wide range of typologies, and based on the new concept of the one-stop shop model to overcome the weaknesses of the previous project. The Padova Fit expanded project is started in last year and will end in 2022. And we set some ambitious goals for our territories, and we would like to mobilize at least 5.5 million euros and 1.7 gigawatt hour of primary energy consumption. The concept of one-stop shop is quite new in Europe. We studied a lot of one-stop shops existing mostly in the north part of Europe, but also in Italy. And what we find out there is that the concept is is very different one from the other. And the concept is recent. We don't have a single definition, and each city in Europe is going to implement the one-stop shop differently from the others. And the existing OS around Europe can vary on three things, according to us: the legal basis of the OS, the available resources, and the services provided by the OS. And what we are trying to do here in Padova is to find the best solution for us, because each time we have to tailor, of course, the OS to the local condition of the building stock, of the condition of the families in our cities. And as you can see on the right side of the slide, what we are trying to do is to create one single point to provide a lot of services to our citizens, starting from the engagement of citizens, providing them technical services, but also financial services and legal services. And we are trying to, to merge the demand side and the offer side, citizens and the building and financial operators, involved in working at local level in our territories. Each territory in the project, so the city of Padova, Bulgarian cities are trying to set up a different one-stop shop, and we find out, this path, which is based on 4 questions, big questions. The first one is which corporate form will the host have? In our case, in Padova, we are trying to set up a public-private partnership where the municipality of Padova acts as a coordinator, but we are also involving some private operators such as the professionals and the companies. And the second question is, which services will the host provide to the citizens? We are trying to set up a wide range of services, starting with the engagement of citizens, providing them information about the service, but also we are trying to provide them technical and financial services. So working with the banks and working with the professionals and companies directly. And who will be part of it? Of course, this question can be answered differently from Padova to Timișoara and Bulgarian cities, and each one has to identify the subjects with a participatory path, where we are going to map all the players in our territories and select the most effective and the most appropriate to launch the OS at local level. This is, like a logical path, a logical framework for our OS. What we are trying to do is to provide a lot of services, starting from the awareness raising and engagement of citizens, and concluding the process with the ex-post monitoring and the quality check. Some of these steps are provided directly by the OS. For example, the technical proposal and the feasibility studies. Some others are provided directly from by the private operators working at local level. So we are trying to find also some protocols with the private operators to launch the initiative and to carry on the initiative jointly. We find out that 2 points are really important for us. On one side, involvement of stakeholders, technical and financial, and on the other side, we'll come back later, the engagement of citizens. In this case, the involvement of stakeholders is very important because in the territory we've seen that all the technical and financial players are already providing existing similar technical services. So we have to map them and to include them into our process to move all together in one direction. So we have to find out complementary solutions with the technical players, but also with the financial stakeholders. And we are trying to interact with them to understand the aspects that must be considered in the host definition. Regarding the engagement of citizens, we tried during this year to establish an action plan for the communication side, and we find out all these instruments and tools to be implemented in 2021 and 2022. We have both digital tools, but also face-to-face tools. Of course, due to COVID-19 epidemic, some of them can be quite tricky to be implemented, but we are trying to implement all of these tools because we understood that part of the population, for example, the young people, can be more, can be reached with, for example, the social networks, but also the elderly people can be reached only with a face-to-face interaction, for example, with the organization of information evenings or information points during the local markets. And the end of my presentation is related to the super bonus 110%, which is a quite important initiative which is occurring in Italy and is completely changing the situation in the renovation of private buildings, because it is very unprecedented help provided by the government to the citizens to renovate their buildings and to increase the energy performance of their buildings. This initiative is a tax deduction, so the government is going to provide the 110% of fiscal rebates related to the costs reported by the citizen for the energy refurbishment. As you can see on the right side of my slide, we have some, it is a quite complex instrument, which requires some rules and some technical and financial requirements. For example, you have a list of intervention that can be funded by the government, and on the right side you have some constraints to reach the rebate. For example, the fiscal rebate can be available only if at least one driving intervention is realized. This is a very important point because is to increase the number of deep retrofitting made by the citizens. We heard before that only the 0.2% of building renovation was a deep renovation, and with this with this investment, the government is trying to increase this percentage, and we as also at the local level we are trying to match our one-stop shop with this new occasion that provided at national level. The super bonus is very interesting also because the intervention can be also at no cost for citizens. As you can see here, the citizen can receive a discount directly from the supplier, from the 0 to the 100% of the total cost. On the other side, they can transfer the tax credit to other operators, for example, the banks. So this is a very powerful instrument which is going to be implemented until the end of 2021. But I heard this morning that this instrument will be probably will be extended until 2024. So our hosts, of course, should match with this new situation. And how? We are trying to implement our hosts linking all the 4 points: the technical support, which is required by the super bonus. For example, the citizen need the drafting of the energy certificates, or need to identify the driving intervention, but also they need the fiscal support from the banks. So we have to help them in managing the tax transfer, for example, or to identify the most appropriate fiscal opportunity. But they also, of course, they need also some legal support and an operational support in sending the documentation to the national agency and facilitating the relationships between the different players in the territory. So this is the end of my presentation. Of course, this super bonus is very important for us. And if there are any questions regarding this instrument, I can provide during the next question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Giovanni. I will ask, we're just a bit behind the schedule, so we should start now with the presentation on the Happen project by Roberto. Roberto, you should, yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, can you also see me?
Yes.
Okay,
Thanks.
let's try to share the screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, Roberto.
Okay, let's start. So thank you very much. I'm Roberto Malvezzi. I'm working for the National Research Council of Italy in the Institute for the Technology of Construction, and I'm scientific coordinator of the Happen project. The title stands for a holistic approach and platform for the deep renovation of the Med residential built environment. So this 2020 project started in 2018 for 36 months of duration with 13 partners from 7 Mediterranean countries. This is the list of the partners. The project has 2 goals. The first is developing what we call the MEDZEB approach, which is an innovative, dedicated approach conceived for enhancing retrofitting markets of residential buildings, specifically for the Mediterranean area. And we will do this also by developing a Happen platform, which is currently under development, which is meant as a one-stop shop digital environment for the implementation of the MEDZEB approach. So what is our MEDZEB approach? We recognize that in our Mediterranean countries there are many shared and unsolved challenges. So we try to define a shared approach aiming basically to reconnect the fragmentation of the value and supply chain and rebuilding trust and credibility on the renovation market and increasing convenience and appeal on the deep retrofitting interventions. For this reason, we characterized the approach with 4 terms. Tailored, because it's the first approach specifically developed for the Mediterranean area. Holistic, because it tries to integrate many relevant fields of the innovation markets. Transparent, because it aims at putting on the market tools and services aimed to foster quality and credibility of the renovation markets. And adaptive, because it's not just concentrating on energy savings, but on many other soft added values of the retrofitting process, such as flexibility of retrofitting, the inclusiveness, and other issues like comfort, well-being, environmental sustainability, etc. We are actually testing the approach in 10 pilot sites where we are running living labs for including as many as possible of stakeholders and inhabitants. So I will go through a bit more the 4 key features of the approach. What stands holistic for? Here, basically, we can see recap the main 4 pillars of what an OSS model is. So, of course, it fosters a transversal engagement of all the categories involved in the retrofitting markets, from the decision maker, the owners, tenants, professional building complexes, etc. From a technical point of view, we developed cost-optimal technical packages of solutions specifically defined for the Mediterranean area, also through a step-by-step approach. Financially, we have developed an innovative financial solution that's perfectly integrated with the technical POS and the step-by-step approach. And from the procedural field, we are working on this Happen program, which basically is an implementation strategy of the MEDZEB approach by means of the platform through dedicated support tools for the procedural aspects. So what we mean for integrating solutions, especially technical and financial. We work like this. We created the first homogeneous databases of reference climates, buildings, and renovation measures extended to all the Mediterranean countries. These were always a bit siloed databases. We run a homogenization methodology for having together these 3 databases on which to run a classical cost-optimal approach, basically aimed to understand which is the optimal solution for each reference building, for each reference climates. And what we got are 546 POS that are calculated based on 42 reference buildings and 13 climates, both in one step and in a step-by-step approach. From the financial point of view, what we proposed is a new solution that is structurally affine to the step-by-step approach, based on a single mortgage, which is registered at tier 0, and layouted on basis of a multiple disbursement plan, which is staged according to the payback time guaranteed basically by the energy saved. So the gains obtained through energy savings, at least as far as possible. This is an approach which is also fully compliant with recent evolutions, such as the individual building renovation passport concept proposed by BPIE. This is a solution which guarantees to the client the highest flexibility, because you can opt for an all-in-one step or a step-by-step, and with different options of multiple steps. You can opt out at each step following unpredictable events, such as, for instance, the house is sold or there is an heritage or something. But you still preserve, let's say, your step-by-step comprehensive approach. You can accelerate the payback, for instance, by co-funding some of the steps plus the energy saved, or even taking into account different financial support, such as incentive schemes. In our Mediterranean countries, Italy actually is the country with the highest incentive scheme, others do not have, and so we have to couple with a variety of situations. And you can also update your renovation roadmap basing on eventually supervening technical innovations after each step. What stands transparent for? Here we have developed two tools. One is the Mezzo protocol, and the other is the Happen platform. The protocol is actually a guarantee scheme. It's a guarantee scheme that ensures that the retrofitting process will be carried out properly along the whole value chain. Here, the theme is sharing on energetic, financial, environmental well-being targets that should be shared by all the actors who will co-sign the protocol, and this guarantee will be applied by agreeing on quality principles that should be maintained throughout the renovation program. The protocol is a document which may include other reference documents, such as, of course, starting EPC of the building, a renovation project that can be developed on basis of the cost-optimal POS, the building renovation roadmap based on the step-by-step, on the eventual breakdown into steps of the POS, and a business plan that can be molded basing on the financial solution corresponding to the roadmap. Finally, we introduce another tool, which is a dynamic voluntary certification scheme, which we call the MEDZEP CS. This is meant to be issued at the end of the first step and to be updated at each step only after checking through a proper monitoring period that the preset targets are achieved. In this way, the VCS can testify the achievement of targets which are basics, which are essentials for the overall business plan to work, since our purpose is, so as far as possible, to pay back the disbursements throughout the energy saved. Oh, this is a short outlook on the structure of the VCS. Its main characteristic is that it is not based on absolute values, it is based on relative values, so you can keep under control the exact amount of savings that you are achieving step by step. And of course, it can include different levels according to environmental sustainability, comfort levels, the depth of the monitoring system. So it's a dynamic multi-level system. The second big help to foster transparency is our platform, which is basically the structural OSS of Happen. It is shaped like a digital marketplace where we aim to cross and match demand and offer by providing both dedicated support tools. The platform is shaped according to a general go-to-market program, which is the Happen program, that is our implementation strategy of the method approach. It is not yet online. Many models are already developed, but we are fine-tuning the integration of the main models. I expect that the first version of the platform will be online soon. What is the HAPPEN program, and how all these aspects that I have described to you converge into a holistic plan? The program is divided in 3 stages, which are named stage: engaging, convincing, and performing. The first stage, the most relevant and most sensitive in this moment for us, is targeting both professionals and other categories on the market actor side, so the offer side, but makers, and the demand side of retrofitting with the owners. The makers are offered a training course, which is already recorded, so-called webinars, which will allow you to get a deep knowledge and understanding about the digital tools that will be activated on the platform. So we'll create so-called method expert by experience. Why owners would be attracted to use the platform through different services such as success story library, familiarization with e-pills on energy efficiency, basic courses on energy efficiency, so to be prepared to use our first engagement tool, which is a configurator, where you can, let's say, check in the library of POS, which is the renovation potential of your home. And basing on this, you may pass to the stage after, contacting an expert who, in the stage of convincing you to undertake the renovation, will perform an expert audit. This is a holistic audit, which will go deeper in details about usage condition, comfort condition, family and social condition of the household, environmental and contextual conditions. So to enter an expert configurator where the pre-calculated POS will be customized according to a series of settings and parameters customizable. This will strongly support professionals to produce customized draft designs, which we believe are the most sensitive aspect for convincing a potential client, where often the retrofitting stops. These will be customized enough to convince the clients to undertake an action, also basing on first experimentation of the financial solution, so you can check the overall sustainability of the intervention. If this is convincing, is successful, the stage after is performing. It is basically based on the signature by all the actors involved in the project with the protocol, by agreeing the targets, by agreeing the financial conditions, by agreeing the steps, if it is a choice or step-by-step approach. And as I told you, at each step, the VCS will be issues or update, and after each step, proper monitoring of the effective achievements, not only energy-related achievements, but environmental, comfort, and other aspects. Of course, financial sustainability will allow you to check out to the next step when the financial conditions will allow this. All these blocks do converge through other digital tools such as forums for discussion, a knowledge base, and other dashboards for all the categories to create an integrated, what we call method community. It's a digital community of practice and interest for fostering a dissemination of good practice and for recreating trust and engagement on the retrofitting market, related at least to our Mediterranean area. So this was all. We have preliminary reference in this paper. Right today, on the build-up, an overview article on the state of advance of the method approach development has also been published. So if you want to go to the portal, you may also find there some further references. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Roberto. I'll just like to remind the audience that if you have any questions, please use the question box on the right or write in the chat. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Anna, who will present Save the Homes project. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Margot. So hi, everyone. Can you just, Margot, first confirm that you can see my screen in full screen, the presentation?
Yes, I can see.
So hello from my side. So I'm Anna Tiso, and I'm the coordinator of Save the Homes project from Hagen Engineers and Consultants. We are based in the Netherlands, and our project has been funded within the EU2 program on the integrated home renovation services of Horizon 2020 Europe, and started only last month, so 1st of September. So I'm really happy that I can already present the project, despite that we are just running for 2 months, and we are going to be running this project until 2023, so 31st of August. So it's a 3-year-long project. And so in my presentation, I will more focus on the context and on our, of course, aim and proposed approach. And unfortunately, there are not so many results I can already share. So why save the homes? So we heard the presentation already from Asme that the current present level of renovations around 0.2 to 0.3% per annum is way too low in order to reach the ambitions of European Union, and we should come to 3%, which is a quite significant increase in renovation rates. And one of the solutions that also European Commission recognizes as appropriate mechanism to speed up these renovation rates are one-stop shop concepts, and most of the projects presented today are doing in the same way. So Save the Homes also works on establishment of one-stop shop concepts, and this is in the 2 countries we are working in, the 2 large cities. One is city of Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and the other is municipality of Valencia in Spain. And of course, since it's a coordination and support action, we are not building from scratch. There are a lot of current activities and also city sustainable plans already in place. So we are just complementing the current activities and aiming to strengthen those and bring them together in a holistic approach. It's a, yeah, as I mentioned, one-stop shop inspired concept, what we call citizen hub. So why our approach? So still, in most of European countries and in cities, the current problem is that there is no real question and demand for renovations. So we need upscaling, but of course there is no real offer for wide application of renovation solutions. So nobody really builds these massive solutions. And then when people ask for renovation, of course, price is higher because there is no replication at wide scale. And in that way, solutions are much more tailor-made and unique. And when there is, so there is no real business case for suppliers. And of course, because there's a lack of proven quality, the problem is with lack of loans, so no one builds, and then it's this vicious cycle. So how can we come out of this is really through this one-stop shop based concepts in different countries, which can really create a demand for renovation. And of course, then once we have these proven concepts in certain cities, we can look for replication, exploitation. Of course, as it was mentioned in the part of a fit project, yeah, we have to look at how it's really replication due to the legal basis, available resources, etc. So within the Save the Homes, what we are addressing, the challenges we are addressing, is the lack of technical skills and capacity. And here I mostly mean lack of skills and capacity to set up and implement ambitious energy efficiency renovations at scale. And what we are also looking within Save the Homes is how to ensure sufficient technical and financial assistance for municipalities, and also provide sufficient capacity building where necessary. Then, of course, we are all aware that the current renovation market is quite fragmented, and moreover, also it's quite the construction sector in general is quite organized for new construction. So to really ensure the renovation market at scale, or like to really increase the renovation rates, we need a different coordination of the both supply side as also activation of the demand side, and this is something we are looking within the Save the Homes project. Then the problem is still with lack of attractive and adequate financing, and this would be probably the main concern or the main barrier when asking homeowners about why not approaching renovations, because they're faced with high upfront costs, with large monthly fees, with time-consuming projects when acquiring financing. So how we see this can be really removed with really uncovering suitable existing schemes and looking for affordable financing being aligned with citizens' needs. Then there is always a certain degree of uncertainty when it comes to renovations, and one-stop shops and especially attractive customer journeys help to eliminate the uncertainties within renovations, and especially in the times of COVID-19 crisis, we can really see that it's important to help people overcome uncertainties. And here we are, of course, talking about uncertainties around renovations. And also the current pandemic crisis is showing us how even more important is to emphasize the importance of renovated homes, as also to more kind of streamline the role of healthy homes. And then lack of performance data. So what we still see that after completion of renovation works, there is still overall lack of reliable data. So within the Save the Homes, we're really looking at also the monitoring phase and ensuring that the work has been done of high quality. As also what we are also looking is the co-benefits of energy efficiency improvement. So here we are giving information related to indoor environmental quality and personal health, because we also see that at the end of the day, the real driver for homeowners investment is related to improved comfort and not so much on energy efficiency. So what are our objectives? As I mentioned, we are developing this citizen-oriented one-stop shop model, Citizen Hub, which is endorsed by municipalities. In our two pilots, this is Rotterdam and Valencia. With this in mind, we really aim to ensure the renovations are done faster, more affordable, and our ambitious goal is to achieve 1,800 renovated homes in those two cities within the 3 years long project. So we are really we started the work as 1st of September, because we have quite some ambitions to achieve. And how are we really going to achieve it? It's looking on how to overcome the current pain points of homeowners, the traditional renovation customer journey. And here we are really developing Save the Homes customer journey for both cities. Then, as I mentioned, we are looking at affordable financing, really looking how can we link available financing schemes and providing affordable offer for citizens according to their needs, according to the technical solutions that are going to be applied. And in the end, as I mentioned, looking to deliver real benefits based on the measured data. And of course, in the end, also looking how can we replicate our concept at a wider scale. And also within the project, we have two follower cities. One it's Sant Cugat within Spain, and one we have in Ljubljana in Slovenia. So we are doing this project with quite a diverse consortium to have the different disciplines covered. As I mentioned, the most of work is really focused on the two pilot cities within Rotterdam and in Valencia. So we have some partners that are directly involved for those two pilots. Then we have G&E Finance as on the part of the financing, the two follower cities, as I mentioned, and in the end also umbrella organization presenting property owners and local governments to ensure the replication and exploitation. So as I introduced the term Citizen Hub, as I mentioned, it's a one-stop shop based model where we will cover all the different aspects of renovation. So going from home renovation, home assessment. So this is really the first assessment of their home, providing technical offers of the renovation package, where we are getting certified suppliers on board, then looking at the contracts, also in terms of the legal aspects, then again, provision of financing. Here we are mapping what kind of financing schemes and funds there are in the 2 pilot cities to provide an offer for our citizens. And then also, as mentioned at the end, looking at the verification of works in order to ensure the warranty and that the work was done well. And what is special about Save the Homes one-stop shop is that it's endorsed by municipalities, because we try to put the municipality in between the supply and the demand side to ensure the trustworthiness, transparency, independence. For most of cases, of course, when talking about one-stop shops, it's easy to explain them, but difficult to achieve. So with these few schemes, I want to show how complex the whole process is. So as I mentioned, we're covering what you see on the left side, different stakeholders groups, then of course the different stops along the customer journey. So from onboarding to the in-use phase, with different actions, stakeholders involved, different strategies, awareness, collaboration, decision-making support. And as I also mentioned, that we are building upon the current initiatives within the city. So here is just a few examples of what's already ongoing in the city of Rotterdam on the ground. So what we can see is that they are already involved in other research projects working in same direction. Of course, they also have the city sustainable plan developed. Furthermore, they already have some physical locations for homeowners to come and get advice as pop-up shops, as this Wohnweiserwinkel. Furthermore, we are also building upon existing bricks from the consultancy firm of Baugeloop that's involved in this pilot case. And then the same, as I mentioned, in Rotterdam, that we have different initiatives. The same goes for Valencia. So there is quite some initiatives that are being brought in the Save the Homes customer journey, from different online tools, Tabula tool, training programs for capacity buildings. Furthermore, ingredients are coming from different European projects. There is also housing strategy in place. And within Save the Homes, we're really just bringing all those ingredients together in a holistic offer in order to ensure for homeowners this one place of contact in order to address all the different aspects of renovation processes. And we can already see this physical office, which is going to be used for our physical hub, which is at the moment serving as an energy office in Valencia. Yeah, so this would be all from my side. Of course, if there are any questions, we're going to have time for a Q&A session. And you're more than welcome to follow us once we have a setup of website and social medias and follow our progress. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. I'd like now to go to the remodule presentation, since we're 10 minutes late. So I'd like you to try to go straight to the point. Sorry for being a bit late. Thanks.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thanks.
Perfect. All right. So thank you very much for the opportunity of being here during this webinar and this workshop. I have to say that I have been listening to the presentations before me, and I think the remodules presentation and the scope of remodules fits very well at this time. So remodules, well, first of all, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Simona Doca. I am the Remodules Project Coordinator, and I work for Huygens Engineers and Consultants as my colleague Anna Tisov just before me. So you will see also the very deep connection that these two projects have, not only because indeed we work in the same organization, but because we voluntarily wanted to connect these projects and many others. So Remodules is a project that will start in November 1st. So it's not officially started yet, but it's really about to start in a couple of days. So this is the very first presentation of the project, and will last until the end of October 2023. So 3 years project. Is a coordination and support action under the topic B4E1, which is towards highly energy efficient and decarbonized building. So Remodule stands for the Retrofitting Market Activation Platform, based on the generation of standard modules for energy efficiency and clean energy solutions. So you will find these keywords during my presentation, but the key buzzword here that I would like to stress is indeed the concept of market activation. This is the strength of the project, so the core vision of the Remodules project. Remodules is a collaborative effort of 15 European partners, and we represent several countries: Netherlands, Italy, Greece, Spain, France, Bulgaria, Slovenia, and Belgium. The key concept is that Remodules tries to build upon previous results. And that's also the reason why we try to involve partners that were somehow connected to important renovation projects, so home renovation projects that were running or just recently ended. So as I mentioned before, remember the buzzwords of Remodule is market activation. So indeed, the overall mission and scope of Remodule is the creation of the European-wide retrofit market activation framework. And indeed, the reason is that there are, over the last years, many successful European projects that had the scope of developing technological solutions, innovative business models, and financial schemes to support home renovation practices in Europe. They were mainly developed to support customer-centered, or how we like to call it, people-centered solutions. So the main scope of Remodules is to build upon these results and to develop a strong market uptake strategies to capitalize these results and to convey the maximum results at the end of the project. So we saw, for instance, in the presentations before me, we discussed about one-stop shop concepts. Sometimes this take form of virtual hubs, sometimes these take form of physical hubs. The idea of Remodules is that we are going to learn from the best of the experiences and capitalize these results to put into practice. And we need to foster the market uptake of these solutions. So the concept of Remodules is modularity, and this has been to be read in two dimensions. One is a multi-level dimension and the other one is a multi-target. So when we refer to the multi-level modularity, so we refer to the breakdown of the different retrofit process, for instance, different energy efficiency measures, different clean energy solutions, to be able to isolate the most effective tools and, of course, the most effective solution. This is one of the important aspects that we've learned so far is that, of course, there is not one fit-for-all solution. And the most powerful tools are the ones that help customers, help architects, help designers to isolate the cost optimality in general. And the other aspect of modularity that we want to stress during the project is the concept of customization. So we know very well that there are millions of renovation markets in Europe, depending on what we mean for renovation and the type of, well, the target and also the national, regional context. So with that, we would like to develop solutions and tools that be able to target this customization and this granularity as well. We have some main objectives that we would like to achieve over the 3 years, and this very well resonates with the presentation of EASME at the very beginning of the workshop, what Luca Angelino mentioned, and it starts, of course, with the willingness to capitalize key results from relevant European projects, among which, for instance, the turnkey solution that we saw the presentation this morning, as well as the Happen project, and many more, like Ivy Road and many others that are included in this capitalization effort, and fostering the market uptake of the results of these projects. So we will work very tightly also with agencies that will help us deliver a significant and relevant business model for this uptake. The idea is that we want to nudge relevant stakeholders to renovation by supporting these concept of customer-centered business modeling and decision tools that is also connected to evidence-based performance, because we found that at the end, the possibility to certify the final energy performance is extremely important for convincing also final customers to onboard the customer journey. An important aspect is to be able to overcome the social, financial, and legal barriers. We know that in many projects there are financial organizations involved to overcome these barriers. Social barriers are also very important in the creation and validation of the customer journey. So that's also an important objective that we want to achieve. A key point of remodules is that we are not going to validate these results in any pilot building, but we will focus on pilot markets. And I'll explain later what we mean that connects to the concept of capitalization. And of course, to be able to exploit not only at the European level, but to be present in realities at the member state level. We want to stress with remodules the fact that there are 3 fundamental market domains that we want to tackle when we think about market uptake. The first realm is the virtual realm. So we know very well that, especially during this time in which physical presence is very difficult, the e-commerce or everything that runs online is extremely important, especially when it comes to decision making. So the first big step of free modules will be to set up a virtual realm, like a domain of digital services that will be collected from all the relevant digital solutions developed in several European projects and put together in a sort of GIS map that could be used freely from all the customers. So, and basically all the European citizens. So it's very difficult and competitive exercise, but that's the main idea, to take the best results and to put it there in one single digital service that could be accessed by all European citizens. The second realm is the physical realm. We know that engagement has to be done on site. So of course, depending on what we could achieve in the next years, the idea is to create physical renovation hubs, similar to what my colleague Anna Tisov mentioned for the Save the Homes project. And in that case, so we would like to support the concrete conditions for local European retrofitting market. And the third important realm is the people realm. So the human component of the retrofitting market through the activation of what we call local advisory boards. So boards at the local level that would support the connection of demand side and supply side. The transition path. So how we're going to achieve what we promise. Well, we have a very tight agenda, and we can summarize this in what we call the transition path. The first step is to capitalize the results of European projects that are running. Of course, we do have a stakeholder group already engaged within our consortium, and we have also a long history of connection that basically was born through events like this one that we run during Sustainable Place 2018, 2019, and we have many more. For instance, the Retrofit Europe Conference 2018, the Stunning Conference 2019, and many others, European Sustainable European Week events. So the idea is that when we create this type of events, it's not just for dissemination, but it's really for building up new ideas. So we would like to foster this. Well, this is our first transition path. The second step is to build up this market activation platform that will be the Remodules digital hub. This will build upon different modules taken from different projects. For instance, as I mentioned, the turnkey platform, some of the elements developed in IB Road and in Happen, put it together, and building up a GIS platform that could be accessed by all European citizens. And this is the third and last transition path. So as I mentioned, the creation of physical renovation hubs. For the moment, we have 4 planned, one in Spain, in the Valencia community. So again, overlapping and capitalizing results that will be developed also within the Save the Homes project. One in the Netherlands, in North Brabant, in the Rotterdam community, one in Bulgaria, in the Sofia municipality, and one in Slovenia, in the Zagorje-Lusavice municipality. So finally, in connection to these physical hubs, we will have a very important action connected to the local advisory boards. And so these boards will be basically boards of people that will activate go-to-market strategies. So relevant stakeholders from the supply side and the demand side will meet and will basically create the momentum to support the further uptake of physical hubs, also prolonging these actions in the future. So you'll see that the innovative aspect of Remodule really relies on the concept of capitalization of results and the market uptake of existing solution. So that will be our core concept. So demonstration in pilot markets, not in pilot buildings, and connecting the virtual world, so this virtual realm with the people realm and the physical realm. Last but not least, I would like to conclude my presentation with an ambition. Remodules will start this upcoming month, in the 1st of November, and we know the ambition of the European renovation wave just kicked off. So our goal with Remodules is really to catalyze the European renovation wave and try to achieve together with all of you this very important ambition and to tackle climate change all together, supporting this incredibly important project. collectively. So I'd like to thank you for the attention, and we don't have any social media yet. We, again, as I mentioned, we are not started yet, but very soon we'll start sharing information. For the moment, if you would like to know more, just send me an email and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simona. I'd like now to ask Luca to present the last project of this workshop. We are sorry to remind that we are a bit behind the schedule, so we will treat the questions afterwards. Thanks.
Can you hear me and see my screen?
Yes. Yes, we can see your screen.
Cool. So the high-res project is quite similar to the other retrofitting project. Here again, our goal is to renovate as many buildings as possible in the best way, but we got specificities of the city of Toulouse, the architecture, the materials, and the summer control issues. The project started 2 months ago, and I work for the in South Toulouse. So we are not the leader of this project. They are not able to present it today. But I will try to present you the aim and the contents of this project in the best possible way. So the high-res project is driven by Toulouse Metropole, and the objective is to develop a fully integrated home renovation service for this city. Toulouse is the fourth French city with a urban area of 1.3 million of inhabitants. The first aim of this project is to improve the cooperation and the coordination between existing program and initiative. And the second is to add innovative elements, such as a technical diagnostical tool developed specially for Toulouse Metropole. And we also want to do a big work for the summer control issues. The objective is to reach to 2,000 renovations per year by the end of the second year. And for the 2 first years, there is a trial period. We will initiate 500 renovations by year, and during this trial, the implementation of a monitoring and an external evaluation system will permit to control the performance for make adjustments for the next year. It's expected that 3 years after the end of the project, 70 gigawatt per year of primary energy will be saved, and the reduction of GES emission is estimated at 40,700 tons of carbon dioxide. Still, 3 years after the end of the project, 70 million of investment in renovation will have been triggered, and more than 500 homes saved from energy poverty situation. For the work team, we got Toulouse Metropole who coordinate the project. They will participate to the trial on the housing stocks and the replication and the upgrading of the work after the trial. GRDF will participate to the development of the monitoring system and the trial program. So they are in charge to evaluate the system performance of the tool, and the ADIL will work on the legal and the administrative aspect of this service. They are in charge to develop and personalize the advice on the legal and the financial issues. APC, who is an operational agency for the energy transition in Paris, have developed his own digital tool. It's called CoachCo Pro, and they are in charge to integrate that tool for the project and to pilot the service offer. They work with Solagro, who is an associative company who help cooperatives and individual house to prepare project for energy retrofitting. For the financial offer of the service, the Caisse des Dépôts is in charge of that aspect. It's a financial institution. And for the end, there is us, the in South Toulouse and Zebo, who work on the state of the art and the technical aspect of the renovation. As concerned the customer route for the renovation service and the one-stop shops, it starts on the platform. The user has access to an inventory of the renovation. The decision tool make it possible to test different configuration according the typology and the need of the habitation. And the activation of the one-stop shop system makes access to a single person who can give a technical, juridical, legal, or administrative support. The contact is also in charge of providing support on the project management, for example, for the distribution and the positioning of the actor and their role. And the last steps is after the work for the monitoring to guarantee the objective of results. Okay, so I know it's quite quick, but I'm sorry I can't tell you more about the result or the organization of the project. I said it's just beginning, and we still have a lot of work to do.
Thank you, Luca.
Can you still hear me?
Yes. I'd like, if possible, to start with the Q&A session because we have 30 minutes left. So if I can go back on my screen. Okay, so we received one question, which is for everyone, from Mateus. So the question is, what do you do if there is a citizen that drops out in the middle of the renovation process? Do you have a form of follow-up? And is this follow-up automated throughout the entire customer journey? And there is another question, is this follow-up information available to all actors in the customer journey? So if there is someone who would like to react to these questions actually, or if you would like me to repeat the questions, let me know if you have something to answer to this question.
Hi, it's Caroline from the Turnkey Retrofit team. I can answer for Hero, which is the existing French platform. There's just a follow-up of the number of customers that have created an account onto the platform and then that have followed the customer journey up to the end. And then we follow the number of retrofit works that have been generated by the platform. But I think that, yeah, I know that there are still a contact by phone, which is organized to check if people have stopped in the middle of the process, we contact them by phone to check if the project is still ongoing or not. But that's a pretty simple follow-up. We don't go further than that. I hope it answers at least partly the questions.
Yes, I'd like maybe to ask Giovanni from Padova FIT, do you have another answers to this, since the project is quite advanced? Let us know. Or if anybody else has something to say on this question.
Maybe I can just give my observation based on Save the Homes concept. Of course, we just started the project, so it's not that I'm talking about the experience that we faced within the project, but I think it also, I think it's a good question, but of course it depends where within the customer journey, within which stop that particular potential homeowner that is going through renovation is stepping out. So of course, in awareness campaigns, in the engagement on the onboarding phase, it's much more difficult to track who is the person who is still undecisive. Of course, with different social and market campaigns, you can ensure that you really make it appealing, for him to request more information, that he comes, either that he asks for more information via virtual hub, or does an online test on home assessment, or comes to the physical hub, where later on, of course, it's much easier to follow up with that person once he already had a physical contact at the office and ask for some sort of advice to see what is still the pain point for him, where can you help him more, etc. So I don't know if that gives another.
Yeah, I may also add something, Alberto Malvezzi from Happen Project. It's a very good question indeed. I think it's, from my point of view, it's coupled with one of the discussion points later about digitalization versus neighborhood office as well. I agree there is a difference between digital engagement and physical engagement. We, as Happen, are developing a platform. Until now, what we have done is basically working a lot at the living labs level in order to gain from people from all the target groups composing the value and supply chain requirements and attention points on which are the most sensitive aspects on which to concentrate our efforts. So now that we are probably quite very soon coming out with a beta version of the platform, that of course will be for us also a moment of learning if what we have done is consistent with the requirements and the indications that we've gathered in 1 year or so of doing labs. For sure, the digital instrument will allow careful follow-up and an understanding of the exact kind of interest flow and decision flow that would go through our models and tools. But we will, of course, follow up this as soon as we'll have enough, let's say, a mass of evidence for making out some consideration statements out of it.
Thank you, Giovanni. Is there anybody who would like to contribute on this point? Okay, nobody. We have, so we can maybe jump on another question, which is actually to Roberto, which was sent by Giovanni. Who are about the MedSeb approach from the Happen project, who are the beneficiaries of the training course? What is their role in the renovation process? And if you
Thank you very much. So beneficiaries are all technicians and professionals who are, let's say, allowed to prepare and manage the design phase. We are actually discussing on this because there are different models in Europe. For instance, Italian model foresee a division between the designer and the controller. The certifier cannot be the same person that actually prepared the design. In other countries, smaller countries, but also Spain, if I'm right, there is not the obligation to have two separate figures. So probably also in this on this side there will be some variety in the final definition. But in principle, the training course are purpose for all those people who are interested or to manage the process by, for instance, managing the protocol, constructing the supply chain and agreeing and signing the protocol and managing the protocol, or the ones who are interested to prepare more cost-effective, more efficient, and more customized design solutions by using our design tools.
Thank you, Giovanni.
I don't know if I answered the question of your other curiosities about this.
Apparently it has been answered. You can still type questions in the question box. Maybe Rachel, I don't know if you are able to send the poll.
The poll number 1, yes.
The second, sorry. Yes. Because we don't have sadly enough time to cover everything, but
so all the attendees now can select the better question, the better answer to this question. What are the key success factors when implementing a one-stop shop? So it's still in process. I will wait a few seconds more before closing it. Okay, thank you very much. You can see the results now.
I couldn't see any poll, but maybe it's because I'm an organizer. Is it?
Oh, okay. I'm currently showing the results. So there is 30% finding the right business models, 50% raise awareness about renovations, and 60% building a community of partners that will support the one-stop shop. If one speaker panelist want to comment that with the results, feel free.
Well, this is Simona Doca from the Remodules project. I think the results are quite clear. Of course, there are multiple choices, so it doesn't sum up to 100%, but I do agree with the fact that the creation of a pool of experts to support the one-stop shop solution is absolutely needed. In the sense that all the success factors are not just connected to the technical elements, but indeed when you're able to create a pool of experts that can support the customer journey from the human side perspective, and B, for instance, a success business model also financially supported and financially viable, together with the technological solutions that are more tailored and adapted at local level, then you have a success story. So of course you can interpret the concept of building a community of partners in different ways, but definitely what we've learned also from other projects is that multidisciplinarity in this field is absolutely needed. So having experts that could cover the uptake and implementation of the one-stop shop concept under social aspects, financial aspects, and technical aspects for sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I had a problem with my microphone before. Sorry for that. I would like to comment a little bit at this poll. For what concern our experience, I would agree with which is the most important key factor in our city is the building a community of partners, and is very difficult because when we involve the technical players, financial players, they all have different languages, and we must be able to merge them and to allow them to speak between themselves, even if they have different languages and different ways to think about the renovation of buildings. So I think this is the very tricky point of a one-stop shop, in our experience, at least. Thank you.
I would also like to comment on this, if I have 1 minute. It's a very crucial point that those of language barriers within the same linguistic area. What we tried to do in the first part of our living labs, unfortunately now due to COVID we had to suspend, but was really working on homogenizing languages among multi-level stakeholders from all the, let's say, segments of the supply chain. And it's proved to be very difficult, but that is why we believe that the community building should be some way guided and structured. We are thinking in our platform to create a model, if we have still energy to do this, for familiarization, let's say, and through a digital living lab approach, for instance. We don't know if it will be successful because digitalizing a living lab is quite complex. But what we would like to try to do is in our training, for instance, the webinars, to provide to facilitators some tools, some background knowledge, and some experience lessons learned about how to make it up, about how to work on homogenizing languages among different target groups. So this is an aspect that we are working on actually too.
Thank you for this input. I think we don't have much time left, but maybe, Rachel, we could launch this third poll, if that's possible, which is more about so the second topic on the digitalization versus neighborhood offices. It's something that has already been touched upon during the presentations. But maybe we could add a bit more input on this topic.
Okay, so the poll is launched. So digital versus physical, how important is having a physical office? So you can select one of the following answers. The poll is still in process, so I let the time that all attendees vote. Okay. The last one want to vote. After I will close the poll. Thank you very much to all of you. So I now close the poll and share the results with you. And there is 42% saying that it depends, and 68% saying that it is important to have a physical office.
Is there someone who would like to comment on this, or we already spoke about it earlier?
I can maybe from Save the Homes project, because we had this discussion exactly a month ago during the kickoff meeting of the project, when we were discussing on how to proceed with our pilots, whether to have online or yeah, just online, or whether we can do physical, or can we go hybrid to have both physical as online. And we didn't do a decision because, of course, it depends also on the people's needs, on the motives, because based on the targeted area, we will see how personal we need to be. And of course, the decision will affect costs, because of course already renovation process as such is complex. So for most of people, it's quite, yeah, it has to have a physical point somewhere in the city where they can come to, where they can explain concerns, and someone really takes time to address this. But of course, what we see also now with the COVID-19 times, the digital virtual hubs can be also really effective. So I think, of course, depends on pilot, on the targeted area, on available resources. So I can
if I may add on something, Roberto from Happen. Thank you, Anna, for your introduction. Since we made this decision at the very beginning, since we decided to go digital since the very beginning, before the pandemic issues, we made this decision because we wanted to stress two aspects. The first is to compress as much as possible costs in order to enlarge the markets downwards to, let's say, mid to low income people. So it was relevant for us to compress costs as much as possible, also in terms of OSS costs. The second was territorial, because while we're talking about Mediterranean areas, we have a lot of, let's say, scattered village and often low connected urban areas where probably physical OSS are more relevant and effective and sustainable, where you have large urban environments like cities or big cities, for instance. It might be more difficult where you have territories, low connected territories with a dispersal population and low income dispersed population. So that, I think that is also one of the reasons why we decided to work on a digital version of the OSS.
Yeah, yeah, Giovanni from Padova. I would like to add something also from our experience. In our experience, I think the physical office is quite important, because if you want to reach, for example, the elderly people, we have to put in place a physical office. But what we understood from our previous experience is that we don't need exactly a fixed office, one single point in the city, but we have to create something itinerant. So something like the information evenings around the city in the different neighborhoods. So yes, physical office or physical place, but itinerant. Of course, also the digital platforms are very important, even more in this period during the COVID-19 epidemic.
Yeah, in fact, with Happen, we assume that the physical contact, the human factor of impact, let's say, could be led by the figure of the MedZeb expert, gathering a pool of people working around a guarantee document, which are all, let's say, upskilled and qualified enough to sign that document. So to use the document as a way for improving quality in the supply chain and creating small, let's say, personal one-stop shops around the guarantee document, around each single individual renovation enterprise.
Thank you. Maybe we could, Rachel, we are running a bit out of time, but we have still one poll which could be interesting. So let me go. I'd like to go on the topic of takeaways and lessons learned so far. Rachel, if you could launch the poll.
Yeah, I launched the poll. So what are for you the key selling points of one-stop shop should have? So you can select one or more of the following answers. Thank you to all attendees to vote now. Okay, that's interesting. If there is still some people who have a view on that point, please share with us. Okay, so now I will close the poll and show you the results. And the first case selling point is financing solutions, according to our audience today, followed by energy assessment tools and impartial advice. Private partners with turnkey solution appears last. So we don't have a lot of time, but if one expert has some comments on that, maybe we can you can share with us your opinion about that.
Hi, it's Caroline. I'm not surprised by the results, and because the question of the financing solutions had been identified, for example, at the benchmark phase on turnkey retrofit. Right from the beginning, we saw that to have an efficient customer journey, we need to have an efficient financing solution, and as well as energy assessment tools, online digital assessment tools, because people like to make their own assessment online. So I'm not surprised, and that's well, a good point. I mean, I think it means that we're not completely out of the scope, at least with turnkey, and I think it's the same for the other projects. But it's good news, but it's difficult as well to tackle the financial issue. I mean, within the frame of a European project, because we don't have very leverage means on the financing solutions. So maybe we're a bit. I mean, we have identified the issue, but we cannot really act on it. So that could be a bit disappointing sometimes.
Thank you, Caroline. I'm sure there are some people who would like to answer to or give more input. Sadly, we only have 5 minutes left, and I'd like to give the final word to Dominique. So, oh, sorry, I'll just. Dominique, would you like to say some words to conclude?
Thank you, Margot. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Dominique Caccarly from CSTB in France, and I'm the coordinator of the turnkey retrofit project. And I'm here to wrap up the main conclusion of our workshop. But first of all, I would like to thank all the panelists for the quality of their presentation and for their reactivity, even that some of them were just informed of their participation in this digital event 1 or 2 days ago only. So thank you for attending this meeting. A special thanks to Luca Angelino from Executive Agency for SMEs, who accepted to introduce this workshop. Luca is a project officer of the Turnkey Retrofit project and has recently joined the agency. I would like to express my warmest thanks to Margot, who plays this difficult role of moderator perfectly. And finally, I would also like to thank Rachel and, as a general way, all the organizers of the Sustainable Places Conference, who accepted to include in the program of our workshop on integrated home renovation services. To conclude this workshop, I would like to come back to the notion of OSS, one-stop shop, which is common to most of the presented projects, and how integrated renovation service or building will be impacted by the EU Renovation Wave strategy that was published this month. First, the revision of the EPB directive will include provision on availability and accessibility of databases and digital repositories for EPCs. And that might be a good source for one-stop shops. Second, there is a proposal to introduce mandatory minimum energy performance standards for all types of building in the EPBD. MMEPS will certainly increase demand for integrated renovation service. Therefore, one-stop shops must be able to promise an improvement of the EPC rating following the renovation work. This is something that has been mentioned in some of the project presented today, but I think it's very important to give the focus on EPC rating in the future renovation world. Third, the new strategy is also planning the revision of requirements on energy audits in the Energy Efficiency Directive. Broader requirements for audits could potentially be used by one-stop shops. It's also something that we might consider in the future. Fourth, there is a proposal on building renovation passports and a proposal for introducing a single digital tool, unifying them with digital building logbooks. In short, the vision behind logbooks is to have one repository for all building-related data throughout the life cycle of the building, which could be linked to one-stop shops. Fifth, the new strategy is also considering the introduction of a deep renovation standard as part of the EPBD revision, and this is very relevant for the one-stop shops focusing on deep renovation projects. And finally, and this is for sure the most important statement in the document for one-stop shop services, the communication declares that the Commission will support setting up standardized one-stop shops that can be deployed quickly at national, regional, or local levels for delivering tailored advice and financing solutions designed to help homeowners throughout the preparation and implementation of their projects. So you can see that local actors can build on this platform to create competency centers for various types of advice on sustainable renovation. For sure, this information will be of major importance for one-stop shops, and I think we can start developing this notion of one-stop shop for renovation, for delivering renovation services. Thank you for your presentation, and I hope to see you back maybe in 1 year for the next revised version of the sustainable place. Thank you all. Bye-bye.